Hi everyone, this review is going to be for swatches and my first impressions of MAC's Chang collection. And this collection is done in connection or in collaboration with Chang, who is a fashion designer. You can read up on her online if you want to. Notice that MAC's description of this collection says that the collection features a kaleidoscope of cutting-edge color inspired by the ancient Chinese art form Kung Fu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think that's how you pronounce it. Of course, with a bastardized English accent. Before we get looking into the actual collection, I do want to address the controversy surrounding MAC's cultural appropriation and the Vibe Tribe collection. If you're not interested in this topic, I will annotate here or put in the description box where you can skip ahead to actually looking at this collection. But I know that a lot of my viewers and new people have seen my video where I discuss the Vibe Tribe collection and the problems that I personally have with that collection. And I think that, in contrast, this collection is a great example of what MAC could very easily have done with the Vibe Tribe collection and should have done with the Vibe Tribe collection. So in this collection, the Chang collection, we see MAC collaborating with a specific designer. And we see in the description of the collection that MAC very explicitly acknowledges that the inspiration for the artwork and the colors in this collection come from a type of artwork. They recognize and tell their customers, hey, this is where we are getting these designs from. And that's something that they should have done with the Vibe Tribe collection. And that is why I feel okay supporting a collection like this, and I don't feel comfortable supporting a collection like the Vibe Tribe collection. Now, some people in the Vibe Tribe comment section have said, well, you should just boycott MAC altogether. And I do want to address that because that video was not about boycotting MAC as an entire company. It was about expressing why I don't feel comfortable supporting the Vibe Tribe collection specifically, not about how I think that MAC is an evil corporation all in all, although I do think they can greatly improve in customer service, and in examples like, or in collections like the Vibe Tribe collection, where they could use a serious dose of perhaps cultural sensitivity. But my personal opinion and my stance as a consumer is that I, although don't review as many MAC collections on this channel anymore, because I do think that I don't want to support all of the collections given the difficulties I've had with MAC in terms of customer service, I do still try to concentrate on the collections that I think are more intriguing and are more unique, or may offer my viewers products that are going to be more high quality, although I guess I don't really know that till I get the collection and review them. But I think that for me, cutting down on the number of MAC collections is a way that I have expressed my level of comfort with supporting the company as a whole. And then, of course, not buying from specific collections that I think don't align with my personal opinions. Does that mean you have to boycott a collection from MAC, or stop buying from them, or buy less from them? No, I think that it's important to consider other people's opinions, and if you agree with them or agree with part of what they think or express, then you choose accordingly how to use your money. By the same token, I don't really think it's appropriate for people to tell me that I have to boycott MAC, or that I should shut up and stop complaining if I think that MAC is doing something incorrectly or wrong. And, if you, for some reason, are offended by the fact that I do or do not cover certain MAC collections, then your power as a viewer is to not watch my videos and to not subscribe. And I fully support that. I'm fortunate enough that I don't run this channel for profit or for money. In fact, in purchasing the products for these videos, maintaining this channel, the time that I spend, I lose a lot of money. So I don't do this to try to get as many subscribers as possible. I'm not with a network. I don't do it for advertising money or things like that. So, when people say, oh, you better stop reviewing MAC, or I can't believe you're complaining about MAC, I'm going to unsubscribe, that doesn't really affect me. That is your choice. That is your opinion. And I am not going to make personal decisions or decisions about this hobby just because you threaten to unsubscribe, because that's, I mean, to me, that's not the point. That is not the important part. The important part for me is to maintain this hobby that I really enjoy. And then sometimes with things like the Vibe Tribe collection, what is important to me is to express an opinion on an issue that I have, strong thoughts about. So if you wish to unsubscribe for whatever reason, I fully support that decision. That's, that is something that you are fully capable of choosing, and it's not up to me to tell you to do so or to not do so. So if you want to continue watching, then welcome. I hope that these videos are helpful to you and that you enjoy them. And if not, then I support your decision to do so. All right, so after that, let's get looking specifically at the products from this collection. So this collection is currently available online, and it will be available in stores May 12th. As always, I will give you live swatches of the colors in this video, and after I fully test these out on my face, I will do full reviews, written reviews at the website at allurabeauty.com, and when those reviews go up, I will put links to them in the description box below. Alright, I hope you are subscribed to the channel, because in particular I will be giving away one of these beautiful products, and that is going to be for one of the eyeshadows. So stay tuned at the end of the video for details on how to win. Alright, let's get looking at the Chris Chang collection. So first up, let's look at the eyeshadows. These retail for $17 each. You can see that each of the colors has a compact with slightly different designs. Very beautiful, very brightly colored. So this first shade here is Royal Woo. Second is Pale Peepa. Third is Electric Mandarin. And fourth is Moo Bloom. So Royal Woo is a pastel lemon yellow, and this has a matte finish. Pale Peepa, I think it's Peepa instead of Pipa, is a pastel turquoise, also with a matte finish. Third is Electric Mandarin. This is a neon mandarin orange. Max says there's a matte finish, but if you look at the pan very closely, there are very tiny micro shimmer particles in the pan. And Moo Bloom is a hot pink. Again, Max says this has a matte finish, but you can see micro shimmer in the pan. It doesn't come off too shimmery on the skin, but looks more shimmery compared to these two shades here. Okay, so there are the 4 eyeshadow shades up close. I really like that these vibrant colors have good pigmentation and are fairly smooth on the skin. Bright neonish colors like this tend to be harder to formulate well than neutrals, and especially even more so when they are matte in formulation as opposed to shimmery. The yellow is a little uneven, patchy on the skin. The rest are pretty darn smooth, but again, these two have just a bit of sheen to the finish. They're not exactly matte, whereas these two don't have that same sheen to the finish. Next up in the collection are 3 cream color bases. These retail for $23 each. Here is Peony Pavilion, Rich Coral, and Socket Shuyu. So Peony Pavilion. This is a hot pink. Rich Coral is a tangerine orange. And Socket Shuyu, again, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but this is a dirty lavender. Okay, there are your 3 cream color bases. This is the type of product that you can sheer out or you can build up the color. And you can oftentimes use these on the lips as well as the cheeks. And onto the lipsticks, there are 5 new shades that are limited edition, and these will retail for $20 each. So again, I'm not sure how you pronounce this. It's Gold Sixi or Shishi. It's spelled Xixi. Here is Cloud Gate Luster. Next is Plum Princess, DD Devilish, and Vermilion V. Alright, Gold Sheet Sheet is a pastel lemony yellow with a luster finish. Cloud Gate. I said Cloud Gate luster before, it's just Cloud Gate, but it has a luster finish. This is a pastel turquoise. Plum Princess. It's a pastel plummy lavender with a matte finish. DD Devilish. Next is a pastel hot pink. I'm not sure if you can be both pastel and hot pink, but this is a pretty bright pink with a matte finish. And last is Vermilion V. This is a clean, true red with a matte finish. Alright, so here are the 5 lipstick shades that come with this collection. You have 2 more sheer luster finish shades and 3 bold opaque matte finish shades. Alright, so there is MAC's Chris Chang collection. This is an absolutely stunning collection when it comes to the artwork and the packaging, and I really like the colors. The colors are unique. They are something different from the normal mill of neutral colors, and that's coming from someone who loves neutral colors. I have dozens of the same shade of brown in my collection, and yet I find this very refreshing and very attractive in terms of the colors that were chosen. It looks like the quality is pretty good too, especially with the eyeshadows that have either a pure matte or more matte formula. I am impressed by how pigmented and how smooth the shades are, maybe with the exception of that yellow color we'll see on application. And I'm also looking forward to using those cream color bases on the cheeks and the lips. Let me know in the comments section below whether you have been able to check this collection out, what you think of it, if you have any opinions otherwise, especially in terms of this collection compared to MAC's Vibe Tribe collection. I don't mind comments that are contrary to my personal opinion, but if you aren't going to keep it respectful, it's not something that I'm going to encourage on the channel or in the comment section below, so just keep that in mind. If you're going to spend effort writing a comment, then I will hope that it will be constructive and somehow positive, even if it is not in agreement. As for the giveaway, all you need to do to be eligible to win the prize is to be subscribed to this channel on YouTube. And just leave me a comment so that I know that you are interested, because not everyone is always interested in winning or trying to enter. I will give you a bonus entry before I do the random draw if you leave a question for me for one of my upcoming videos, which is going to be a question and answer video. So they can be any kinds of questions. They don't have to be beauty related. They can be personal, theoretical, just random questions, anything that you are curious about. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful to you. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Shade 501 Blush Basin, 502 Suede Splash, 510 Iced Iris,